The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, March 5th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Kristian. Doing good. It is Friday, ready for the last new episode this week. Well, the last episode this week. And before we have the big turnover for our pop culture universe next week. Woo!
Exactly. Yeah, as Tony mentioned, Fenix Media, which was the future of broadcasting, is now becoming the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. All of our content on the network is going to be pop culture related. So, if you're a fan of anything pop culture, genre, film and TV, horror, sci-fi, action, comic books, video games, anything geeky or nerdy, we will be the resource for you. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, you live in an area that gets a fair amount of snow. Obviously, you see snowplows all over the road when that happens. Are you familiar with any names of snowplows in your area?
Not in my area, but I did read what you're about to ask me. So I know some of the names, and it comes from a place called Minnesota. Minnesota, eh? But no, I don't know of any what plows named here, Like before this article, I would have thought Mr. Plow from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's the one that always comes to mind for me. Obviously, Plowy McPlowface would be, something that most people would name a plow. But with that being said, you would think that by now, governments everywhere would be wary of letting the public name things. For every legitimately great moniker a citizen provides, like the Mars rover Perseverance, which got its name from a young student, you get a whole lot of Bodie McBoatfaces. You also have to be worried about John Oliver or Stephen Colbert getting their viewers in on the action too. But those concerns didn't stop Minnesota's Department of Transportation from asking people to name a fleet of snowplows. Now they have a whole bunch of trucks with very nerdy, very silly names. And while most of them are actually pretty great, one of them is obviously called Plowy McPlowface. The Minnesota Department of Transportation ran a contest to name 8 snowplows in the state, one for each district. Citizens were able to vote for their top 8 choices from a list of 50 nominees. The 8 winners, picked by 122,435 unique voters, include Duck Duck Orange Truck, Plow Bunyan,
Okay.
Darth Blader.
Ooh, not bad.
Opie Just Gonna Plow Right Past Ya. Okay.
That's dumb.
Plowy McPlowface.
Okay.
Snowby One Kenobi.
Ooh, I love that one.
F. Salt Fitzgerald. And the truck formerly known as Plow. A little Prince reference there. Snowby One Kenobi is really great, much better than Darth Blader, but the stealth best name here might be F. Salt Fitzgerald. It's legitimately funny. Of course, this is Minnesota we're talking about here. Well, it's the birthplace of the great Gatsby author. It's also famously the home of Prince, which is why the truck formerly known as Plow might be the actual best moniker. Put that image on the side of the truck formerly known as Plow, then put it on every car in the state as well. You can find the list of all 50 nominees and their vote totals on the MnDOT contest site. And I'll post this article up on our Facebook page so people can check it out, enjoy the names for themselves, and obviously see the nominees as well. But what a fun way for a local government to get people involved and really just sort of have fun with something as inconsequential as naming a snowplow.
It's quite inconsequential. I once named my plow Plowy McPlowface. It plowed the snow and broke the ice. Very nice, I thought. No. Yeah, no, that's, I think all states should do that. That's a lot of fun. It's cool.
I agree.
Well, I mean, not all states, but all states that have plows. Obviously, Texas doesn't have plows.
Right. Wouldn't make sense for Louisiana or Arizona, but here in Nevada, there in Colorado, maybe we should petition our local governments for it.
There you go.
Well, folks, it is Friday. We have a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
We're looking forward to the weekend, but not before we bring you good news, everyone, as we do on Fridays. We have a segment called Guilty Conscience. Our call-in topic today is the hardest video game ever. We have a segment called The Willys. We round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now, we've got a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you named a snowplow. We want to know about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, speaking of entertaining, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, March 5th, and here is your Filippo Fast 5. Speaking of Fast 9 has been delayed again. But don't worry. The Family returns June 25th, only in theaters. So it was supposed to come out in April. I mean, it's already been a year delayed. So it's still shooting for the summer. And from what I was reading, summer movies, they're hoping to have a somewhat normal summer season. So fingers crossed. Yep. We will see. A Quiet Place 2 release date was revealed by John Krasinski. He said, "We've waited long enough. It's official. Memorial Day is when that will drop in theaters." So they're done waiting too. It's coming out. Remember
Good for you.
You remember Turner and Hooch?
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks movie. So Disney Plus is bringing the series back, and it's bringing back Reginald Vell Johnson, a.k.a. Carl Winslow, as Mayor David Sutton. Apparently he was in the original. So he'll be coming back if you're into that. Steelers side quarterback Ben Roethlisberger to a friendly 1-year contract. He's going to give it a go one more time. Yay for Steeler fans. And ESPN made a huge offer to reunite Skip Bayless with Stephen A. Smith. They offered him a $31 million contract, only for Fox Sports to up it and offer Bayless a 4-year, $32 million contract. Can you believe Skip Bayless gets paid $32 million to just sit and talk sports and just kind of troll, more or less?
Right.
That's it.
If I remember correctly, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith had a little bit of a falling out, right?
No, they're still close.
Are they really? Okay.
Yeah, it was about money.
Okay.
Always about the money, buddy. You know, like the show, gets big money and they're like, you're going to need to replace that really terrible co-host of yours. As long as there's a buyout, there won't be no personal. But yeah, hopefully never. I digress. So today, obviously, is Friday, which means WandaVision's out. It's the finale. It's even titled the series finale. So I think this is the only season we're going to get. So soak it in. Disney Plus has been crashing a lot with a lot of people streaming today. So good luck if you get to watch it. I did watch it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but enjoy. With that being said, the reason why I bring that up is we are now 2 weeks away from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier from taking its place. So every Friday we will have a new Marvel show. So with the Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a major adventure to follow the events of Avengers Endgame. The former sidekicks will take spotlight as they attempt to live up to the legacy of Captain America and defend the world from the threat of Baron Zemo. Is it Zemo or Zemo? I probably Zemo. That. Zemo, okay. Yep. He will challenge the heroes in surprising ways. Because the series is dealing with the aftermath of the blip, fans should expect some major references from the Marvel Studio releases. During an interview with Disney's 23 magazine, the Falcon and Winter Soldier director Carrie Sugland spoke with the upcoming series. She said that Marvel fans will discover interesting ties to comics and movies, much like WandaVision. I think we're able to find some really wonderful Easter eggs that you will discover as we go by going deep into the material. One of the great things about having 6 hours is you have time to do that. We've had some fun finding events, places, people, and things to bring to the fore. We had fun and definitely were informed by earlier comics. Winter Soldier actor Sebastian Stan backed up these statements, playing credit to Marvel Studio head honcho Kevin Feige. He plays credit to the original mantra of the MCU, stating that if you pull back far enough, it's all connected. What's amazing about the incredible universe Kevin has created is that there are all these vignettes happening. Sometimes they're all happening at the same time or they're happening at different times. But when you zoom out of it and get a bird's eye view, it's seemingly all connected. So you guys, we could check that out. March 19th. Definitely excited for this. Also, before I turn it over to you, stay tuned. There is a post-credit scene at the end of the finale of WandaVision, just so you know.
Good to know. Yeah, I mean, most of them didn't have post-credit scenes aside from 2 episodes ago. And, if you turn it off early, you might miss something important. But no, I'm looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's exciting that Baron Zemo is going to get his iconic purple mask. I think most people were disappointed in Civil War that we didn't see that. But, it's going to be action-packed. It's going to be sort of an espionage thriller. And I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. I think it's great. And it just gets us, as we keep rolling, that'll put us through May. And I think in May, if I'm not mistaken, there's something else taking place before Loki, unless Loki is right after.
I think it's Marvel's What If.
Okay. Which that's still pretty awesome. But I'm really excited about Loki. I can't wait to start talking about that. That's going to be good. Moving on to the other side of the comic book world, Zack Snyder's Justice League chapter titles are revealed. As I asked you yesterday, is it going to be 1 4-hour movie? Is it going to be 4 chapters? You said chapters. I deliver what those chapter titles are called. So this will be the first episode. Part 1 will be called Justice League, Don't Count on It, Batman. Part 2 will be The Age of Heroes. Part 3 will be Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. Part 4 will be Change Machine. Well, I guess this is going to be 6 parts. Part 5, All the King's Horses. And Part 6, Something Darker. As Zack Snyder has teased, the film will end on a massive cliffhanger. That Something Darker title doesn't point to a happy ending. So March 18th, if you have HBO Max, you'll be able to watch Justice League. No word if it's just going to be kind of like Disney Plus with you got to wait each week. My thought is it'll be available to you a la Netflix where you could just kind of go to town on it if you wanted.
Yeah, I was reading an article this morning actually on those chapter titles, and I get the sense what they'll do is they'll give you the option. You can either watch it in one large chunk or you can do it in individual chapters.
Yeah, I'm going to go the chapter route. How about you?
You know what? I may just wait till that Saturday and just bear down and take 4 hours out of my life to watch it as a whole.
Oh, there you go, man. Either way, we'll be discussing it on the show after we both watch it. We'll kind of give you our thoughts, and maybe Monday we can share our thoughts on WandaVision as a whole. So not like you have to share a whole lot of thoughts in the entertainment world. We both enjoy it very much. So going away from the world of TV, we'll stick in TV since we're kind of still there. Paramount Plus is now live. So if you it's now launched, it's no longer CBS All Access. The app formerly known as that is expanding. It now offers the subscribers mountains of entertainment, live sports. You get offerings from networks like MTV, Comedy Central. It's going to be quite a huge competitor for Netflix, another one, because a lot of their content is on Netflix, like Avatar and Top Gun. A lot of the Paramount stuff will now transition over to their own network. So there's another big blow for Netflix. So it's a good thing Netflix is good at creating original content.
Right.
So you guys can download it now. You could catch things like SWAT, Clarice, exclusive programs, The Good Fight, The Twilight Zone, Star Trek Discovery, SpongeBob, Sponge on the Run, which is going to be out in theaters today. Camp Coral, Corral. I don't know. I was going to say Camp Coral because
I think it's Coral. Yeah.
Yeah. Coral. Camp Coral. SpongeBob's Under Years and the revival of the original season of The Real World. Okay. I don't think that would be all that exciting. But you can also catch, it'll be the streaming home for new movies like A Quiet Place Part 2, Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible 7, and really anything under the Paramount brand. So
Transformers, Hasbro.
And what's good is you have this, right? You were a CBS All Access subscriber, now you have this. Have you had a chance to check out Paramount Plus yet?
Yeah, I tuned into it yesterday. The reason I originally got CBS All Access was so I could watch football games, watch live football. And other than that, it wasn't all that impressive. You had the original Star Trek series. You had the new Twilight Zone. The Stand had been great. But other than that, it didn't provide a whole lot more content. Turning it on yesterday with the new Paramount Plus, I mean, it's got everything that MTV had, everything that Comedy Central had, everything that Nickelodeon had, whole bunch of movies. It looks like it will be a good Netflix contender.
Does it have Double Dare?
It does.
Really?
Yep.
Holy cow.
It has Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead. You name it. Both versions of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. I ended up getting it as well. I have not set it up or anything, but I haven't got a chance to look at it, but I did get it as well under a promo. So give it a shot, see how it goes. I mean, my time's limited as is, so it's one of those extra things to have,
Exactly.
Now moving out of the world of that, it looks like the last story of the day before birthdays will be a little video game news, and that is E3 2021, the live event, which will bring consumers and fans to showcase all their new video games, has been canceled. It's at least physically. Okay. They're going to do a full-on digital one, kind of like we reported with Comic-Con at home. They're going to do probably like trailers. They're going to have keynote sessions. I don't know how exciting that'll be. But if it's done in the vein of like the Nintendo live events or direct events, this could be really cool to showcase off. So hopefully Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony all put together some great packages, and hopefully we get some great games from the big heavy hitters, Capcom, EA, just to name a few. I don't know all the big developers out there anymore other than those two. Activision, that's another big one. Well, Konami doesn't really put out crap anymore, which is a bummer. And they were big. I mean, they have a lot of great properties. But, man, that's going to be a big thing. They're shooting to still do it around June. But, in this day and age, I think a lot of these companies kind of get the thing. They're like, why go to these things if nobody's going to be there? We can put our own stream and session out. So
exactly.
So, but with that being said, that's your entertainment news today. Now we'll roll into a rather short list of birthdays today. It's not overly big. Oh, yes. This Cuban-American movie actress gained mainstream for Training Day and starred in Too Fast, Too Furious. I don't know what she's been in lately, but Eva Mendes is 46. Televangelist pastor who's seen millions of broadcasts from Lakewood Church and a mega church in Houston, Texas, Joel Osteen, is 57. From Fort Collins, Colorado, he played young Anakin. I'm Anakin, and I'm a person. Jake Lloyd is 31.
Wow.
He's from Fort Collins, Colorado. Weird, and he's 31. Does that make you feel old?
Oh.
Talkative magician who became a part of a clever illusionist duo, Penn and Teller. He had a doppelganger in Brent Smith of Shinedown. Penn Jillette is 65. Up until Brent lost all that weight. Then he didn't look like Penn anymore. And lastly, legendary Dallas Cowboys wide receiver who was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007, who recorded over 1,000 receiving yards in 5 straight seasons from 91-95 and helped the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowl championships. Michael Irvin is 54. That's your celebrity birthdays for March 5th, and that's your entertainment news. We'll see you Monday for more exciting stuff.
Well, folks, that does do it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it is Friday. We like to take you in the weekend on an up note with what we like to call good news, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But
2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. Now, we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony is available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94 or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it's Friday, and as we like to do on Fridays, you know, there's so much bad news out there. There's negativity, there's vitriol, so much hate. We'd like to turn the tables a little bit. And
Did you say hate?
I said hate.
Well, no, it would work if the soundbite worked. So that was a failed segment, damn it.
How dare you?
Yeah, like this whole time, I it's just not playing.
Oh,
I was going to do the Anakin, I hate you, but didn't play.
In any case, we turn the tables a little bit, like to take you into the weekend on an up note with what we like to call
good news, everyone.
I'll go ahead and start out. Last March, Derek Baker started sharing video clips of his life at home while in quarantine on TikTok. In the videos, he dances, chats with his siblings, works out, and shares funny bits to his 2 million followers. What makes the 23-year-old known as Baker Banter on the app stand out among TikTok users is that he shines a light on what it's like living with Down syndrome, or an extra chromosome which affects his appearance, mind, speech, and more. For people like Derek, finding a job is even harder than it already is. with many employers and workplaces not set up to accommodate people with disabilities and their needs. That's where Pioneer Bakery and Cafe comes into Derek's story. He was offered a job at the Kirkwood, Missouri establishment in October and shared the happy news on TikTok. So what just happened? Derek's mother, Valerie, asks off-screen in the video. We just came to interview. It was so awesome right now. I'm so excited. I got a job. I got a job. Derek excitedly responds before breaking into a happy dance. It's pretty overwhelming when you have an adult child with a disability and they get out of the school system, Valerie told Today. The key is having employers who have the patience and the understanding and the desire to help adults with disabilities and help them find meaningful employment. Pioneer Bakery and Cafe in Kirkwood, a suburb of St. Louis, is a collaboration between Lafayette Industries' Step Up program and MacArthur's Bakery. The bakery opened on October 1st, 2020, and launched a 2-year course for adults with disabilities to show them how to work in and manage a restaurant environment. The concept of the Pioneer Bakery Cafe here actually was inspired by 2 family friends of mine, both with children who had different special needs, Scott Reineberger, one of Pioneer's owners, told Today. And once services were done for them, the question was, what now? What's next? Kat Warner, a program coordinator at Step Up, explained that Pioneer employees get in-person instruction before they get to apply their knowledge to hands-on work. We're in the classroom and we're learning those social skills that everybody needs, whether you have a disability or not. And then we go to Pioneer, where the students basically intern and they're able to display those skills. This program gives these adults with disabilities that same sense of self-worth, Valerie said. Being important, being worth it, being needed, being productive, being a contributor to the world around you, really being a leader. The opportunities Pioneer Bakery and Cafe offer to employees are just like those at any other restaurant. Trainees do everything from work the point of sale to pour cups of coffee in the area and interact directly with customers, said Reineberger. The trainees are baking bread. They're mixing, they're measuring, they're decorating. Jenna Baker, one of Derek's sisters, told Today, they don't just employ people with disabilities, they are training people with disabilities to be the best versions of themselves. Through Pioneer, Derek, who is one of 12 trainees in the inaugural course, has learned everything from using a cash register and decorating cookies to coping strategies for handling stress. At the end of the workday, Derek said it's all about sharing a positive attitude with people. I do bring joy to people, said Derek. It's wonderful to see when employers or when businesses, take up social issues, when they take up things like disabilities and really give people who may not otherwise have a opportunity to have that opportunity. And it's for that reason that's my
good news, everyone.
Yep. I think you muted, Tone.
Yep. Sorry. I was going to say that is definitely some good news right there for sure. Let's see. It would help if I had mine. Mine has a Chicago coffee shop owner did a good thing. Tucked into a suburban Chicago train station may appear to be an unassuming coffee shop, but that's what you get behind the scenes is more than just your average cup of Joe. For the 7th year in a row, shop's owner Pilot Pete, a.k.a. Peter Thomas, has been the driving force behind Coffee with a Purpose, an annual community initiative that collects and distributes coats and other necessities to help the local homeless population brave the harsh Midwest winters. Thomas says the idea came to him when he was trying to find a way to give back to the community as well as to get others involved. He admits he was initially unprepared for the positive avalanche of responses in the weeks prior to Christmas in the drive's first year, and other volunteers took in 3,000 coats. This year, for drive number 7, Thomas and crew helmed the Coffee with a Purpose Command Center from the back of a 26-foot moving truck. The humanitarian caravan made a total of 6 stops throughout the greater Chicago area. Pilot Pete's brewed up 40 gallons of coffee for the occasion. The hot Java was supplemented by donations from 3 other Elmhurst businesses eager to do their part. Baked goods came courtesy of Rough Edges Confectionery. The truck and a drive were provided Good Move Movers, and a custom truck signage was the handiwork of Angel Fancy Design Studio. At each stop, Thomas invited people to shop for whatever they needed, and when they say shop, it was shop, for whatever they needed free of charge. In addition to coats, there was a wide selection of blankets, socks, hats, gloves, scarves, personal hygiene items to choose from, all collected, sorted, and hung by gung-ho community volunteers. Thomas notes that the added impact of COVID, there were more people in need than ever this time around. When we made this effort, all the shelters were on lockdown. No one was allowed in or out. That is, once you're out, you can't get back in. So there are more and more homeless people. This is a good year to be extra giving, Thomas said. But what Thomas and the community members who work alongside him are trying to achieve goes beyond merely handing out warm clothing and coffee, forging a human connection with people who are often invisible in society, an integral factor in giving equation. Thomas says that making donations one-on-one makes it feel more genuine, because you never know when someone has been, where someone has been, or what someone's been through before meeting them. With the homeless, we treat everyone the same or equal. According to Thomas's proud mom, Joni Morgan, her son's inclusive. Oh no, I zoomed up too fast and I lost my thing. I apologize. As you're reading, you kind of go. That's what happens when you don't break this down. But yeah, it's. Lost my train of thought. I totally screwed that up. Mom sees she's proud of her son, and let me just go to the end of it. Pilot Pizza is more than a coffee shop. He is just a local hero. He loves to offer a sweet, tall cup of coffee and great hospitality for years to come. Dang it! I'm so sorry I slid up on that. It just kind of zoomed up, and it's a really long story. So, but you know what's really great about that is the fact that he takes the time to get the, these warm jackets. I mean, I can't imagine how cold it is in the Midwest. I'd imagine it is beyond frigid. If I get cold here in Colorado, I think Colorado gets cold. I think the fact that, he can keep people warm in that area, being homeless and trying to survive that, I think that's a great cause. And the fact that he can get other local businesses to partake with them really helps out. So that's a fantastic cause that he's doing, and he has nothing to gain from it other than to give back. So,
yeah, and it's the best feeling in the world. And if you really think about it, I mean, how many jackets or sweatshirts do you have in your closet right now that you never wear? They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
You can donate those and, give somebody who really needs them a chance to stay warm, especially right now when, homelessness is, more prevalent than ever just because of the way the world is.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think that's always a good cause, but hey, and you get warm coffee to warm up. I like the fact that you can shop and it's really, you just get to pick whatever. So,
which is awesome. I'd certainly say that qualifies for
good news, everyone.
Well, folks, that does it for Good News, everyone. When we come back, we've got a segment called Guilty Conscience. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Welcome back, folks, to the final segment of the first hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. But don't fret, there is still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our call-in topic, the hardest video game ever.
It's so hard!
They can be. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now, in this segment, which I've titled Guilty Conscience, we're going to be talking about things that are totally legal, but feel illegal when you're doing them.
Ooh, dirty, you say.
Tony, is there anything that you do out in your day, out in life, that it doesn't feel like you should be allowed to do it, but you can? There's nothing against it. It's just it doesn't quite feel right.
Yeah, I would. There definitely is. I don't know. It's with the soundboard. Like, it's every time I have a quick quip for it, it's just it freezes. So, yeah, man, it absolutely. I do have those thoughts at times. Off the top of my head, don't know, but I'm sure as we go through the segment, I'll have some stuff. But
all right, yeah, we'll give a couple examples, and then from there, maybe something will hit you. But let's go ahead and start off with our first one. Basically, our guilty conscience, things that are legal that feel illegal.
Inconceivable!
This from Waste of Air 05 says, calling a teacher by their first name. You know, obviously, when you're in a classroom, you refer to them as Mr. or Mrs. or Ms., whatever it may be. And then you see them outside of school or years afterwards, and they say, oh, call me John, call me Sue, call me whatever it is. And it just doesn't feel quite right. Tony, do you recall any teachers growing up who actually preferred you call them by their first name?
No. Like, I've always called them by their last names and stuff. Like, as far as teachers go, but my chiropractor, Adam, it took me a while to just call him Adam because I knew him as Dr. Harris. So it was always Dr. Harris. And then and then we became friends over the talk of sports because I'd go see him, get fixed. We discuss sports all the time. Our 15-minute sessions were 30 minutes of just BSing football. So we became friends. And now he's just Adam to me. Like, that's Adam.
That's a little strange.
But it took a while. Yeah, it was Dr. Harris for a long time. Great, by the way, if you're in Thornton and you need a chiropractor, Dr. Adam Harris is your guy. Shameless plug.
In the transition, did you want to call him Dr. Adam? Like Dr.
No.
Dr. Phil?
No.
Okay.
No. That's
Let's move on with guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Things that are totally legal but feel illegal. For instance, Christ on a Cracker 12 says, taking a right on red.
Some people are just apprehensive to do it altogether. For me, I'm more frustrated with the people who turn right on reds when there are clearly signs that say no right on red, and or get upset when you don't turn right on a red when you're not allowed to. Tony, what's your stance on no right on red?
Oh, I think unless it specifies it, you should be able to do it. I don't get it. It's like a yield, they're not coming. They're, you've got that traffic light still going. And as long as it doesn't say no turn right on red, then absolutely you turn right on red.
Yeah.
Because then you're blocking up traffic. Like it's exact. There's nothing that tells you to stop. There's zero stop sign. So turn unless specified. So yeah, I get annoyed with it as well.
Fair enough.
How about you?
Same thing. It's just, know the rules of the road. I think that half the people out there probably don't even deserve a driver's license based on the way they drive. But you know what? Know when you can turn, when you can't turn, and life will be that much simpler.
Absolutely.
Let's move on with guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Things that are totally legal but feel illegal. Going back to school on this one, Lily80236 says, being in an empty classroom back in the day, I felt like I was breaking a law and someone was going to come in and yell at me. That was always a little strange. Yeah, you'd walk into a classroom either after hours or on the weekend or whatever it may be, and it just didn't feel quite right. You almost expected it to be full of people, but there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're not stealing.
Exactly. I would say when I went to my cousin's volleyball game last summer, not last summer, but it was around last summer, I had to go back into Carson High for the first time since we graduated. It was just so weird because obviously no classes were in session, but it felt kind of like I shouldn't be there. It was odd. It was familiar. Everything came rushing back, like the memories in your head of where you were in all these spots. So it was definitely a little strange.
Fair enough. Let's keep moving on. We're talking guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
This from Evan EH says, every time I go through a background check, I'm convinced that they're going to find out I secretly have a long and sordid criminal history. I've gotten maybe 4 speeding tickets in my entire life and have never had any other brush with the law. And anytime you're filling out an application or doing a background check or something, there's always that fear that, maybe somebody took out a warrant for your arrest somewhere that you have no idea about. And that anxiety builds up a little bit that it's like, what are they going to find?
Exactly. No! Or what little idiot tries to steal your identity. And that's when you find out, oh, okay.
Yeah. You own land in Tennessee.
I do. I got another letter from Bo yesterday about selling my commercial property in Tennessee.
I'd say do it.
Bo, I'll sell you my commercial property, dude. I don't know how I'm going to sell it to you, but I'll sell it to you.
Let's keep
rolling.
I've never
even said property I own, though.
There you go. Let's keep rolling on. Guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Things that are totally legal but feel illegal. AXJ66 says, my daughter recently had ankle surgery, so we had a handicap placard for a few months. Every time we used it, it felt so strange. For me, I am technically eligible for a handicap placard. I have fibromyalgia, which can be severely debilitating depending on if I have flare-ups or whatever it is. But I never take it because of the reason that if I get out of the car and walk like I'm walking fine, it's those judging eyes of, why are you parking in the handicap spot? You're not handicapped. You don't need it. Well, sometimes you do, but I'd rather just not deal with that social stigma.
Yeah, you do see people like my, she doesn't watch the show, so I don't care, but my ex-mother-in-law, she used to use her mom's I don't know if it was her mom's, it was somebody in her family's handicap thing, and I'm like, you're not even handicapped. But
hey, some people take advantage of it, but most people are a little apprehensive. They don't want to seem like they're taking.
I wouldn't do it. Yeah, but I would imagine even if you had to use it, you probably don't even want to use it. So
yeah. Let's keep moving on. We're talking guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Things that are totally legal but feel illegal. This one I definitely relate to. A kitten suddenly appears as the poster for this, says, putting my hands in my pocket when I go to a store. I keep a grocery list in my pocket
and reaching in to drag it out always feels scary. I'm not stealing, I promise. Every time I walk into Costco, I've got my list on my phone, and every time I put my phone in my pocket, I always sort of make a grand gesture that it's my phone going into my pocket and nothing else.
Yeah, it's it's definitely one of those things. It's easy to feel that way, especially sometimes if you're by yourself in a corner and you're like looking around for a while. Like sometimes I'll stand there and I'll look on my phone at stores and stuff, and I'm always by myself, so it always looks a little suspicious sometimes. It's like I have a lot of stuff, and it's like, oh boy. Or like when I go into Walmart before a workout, I'm like in hoodie and workout pants or whatever.
Look like the Unabomber.
Yeah, hoodie over my head, and I just go in for like a couple things and get out. But yeah, because I go swing by the pop section for a second, so it's like, what's that guy doing? Yeah.
Now, along those lines, and we're talking guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Yay!
Jen H says, going into a shop and leaving without buying anything. Same thing. I used to go into Costco just to grab some food every once in a while because they, $1.50 hot dog and soda. How can you beat that? But as you're walking out and they're checking the receipts, you kind of squeeze past everybody who's, with their carts. And you always feel a little guilty walking out with nothing in your hands and make it look like I have nothing.
Right. It's one of those things that when you go into those places and you leave empty-handed, it's a little odd because it's not something you typically do, But back in the day when we had demos, you could actually demo. People would just make a lunch run out of it. You just go, hit every sample spot, and then out the door you went, and you were good.
Makes sense. And then finally, in guilty conscience.
Inconceivable!
Things that are totally legal but feel illegal. Cale University says, whenever the metal detector goes off in an airport security, I'm always nervous I somehow had something really illegal on me, or I feel guilty for wasting their time, even though it's usually just a phone in my pocket.
Yeah, when you get stopped anytime for security for something, you always feel like, oh, great, all the eyes are on you. When I was leaving Orlando, I set off an alarm, and it was because I forgot to take off the belt triggered.
And that's all it takes, but you still feel guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
Folks, that does it for the first hour of the show. We're headed into the long break. Go ahead and use the bathroom, grab yourself a cup of tea, listen to the news, and when we come back, we'll go into the second hour, including our call-in topic of the hardest video game ever. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in about 7 minutes. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Nina Maria Potts with the latest world news. Pope Francis has called for an end to violence and extremism in Iraq. He is on his first international trip since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, and it's the first ever papal visit to Iraq. He's also called for more freedoms for the minority Christian community in Iraq. He's set to celebrate Mass at a stadium in Erbil in the north. U.S. public health officials have ramped up warnings of pandemic fatigue, alarmed by a move by some states to relax restrictions. Newly reported coronavirus cases were falling but have now leveled out, and fewer Americans are getting tested. Top infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has slammed states for reopening, calling the move to lift restrictions inexplicable. Mississippi and Texas are among the states lifting mask mandates and returning businesses to fully open operations. The U.S. Senate is debating President Biden's $1.9 trillion relief bill, but it lacks Republican support. Utah Senator Mitt Romney called the new legislation excessive.
The president's plan is massively excessive. It needs to be cut back and focused where need is real.
Italy is under fire for blocking an export of 250,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to Australia in a move approved by the European Commission. Australia has asked the EU's executive arm to review the decision. It's the first time EU vaccine export controls have been used to block a shipment. Lucy Hoff has more.
At the same moment, EU leaders have accepted the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine works in older age groups. They've now also taken steps to block exports of the jab. A delivery of 250,000 doses from a site in Italy was blocked from being shipped to Australia. The first time EU export controls, introduced in late January, have been used in practice amid concerns over supply shortages in Europe. Australia has asked the European Commission to review the decision and has accused the bloc of tearing up the rulebook. Lucy Hoff, Brussels.
A resolution on reforming Hong Kong's electoral system is on the agenda for the meeting of the National People's Congress in Beijing, although there are no specific details about what the reforms will entail. Patrick Fock reports from Beijing.
At a press conference, NPC spokesman Zhang Yishui said the changes are necessary and fully within the power of the legislative body. It's still not clear what the changes will entail, but speculation is rife that pro-democracy district councillors will be removed from the election committee that chooses Hong Kong's chief executive and be replaced with members of the NPC or CPPCC, China's top political advisory body.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second hour of this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, March 5th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, you ready for the fastest hour of the day?
You know it, buddy.
You know, it's the final segment, the final hour before the final...
Before we know it, it'll be the final segment, though.
Exactly. You know, we're on a Friday. We're headed into the weekend. I'm excited to sleep in a little bit, though I've got a lot of work to do before the changeover for Fenix Media to become the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. Which actually brings me to the interactive portion of the show, which this is, where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and viewers, on our topic of the day, which is why we give it 24 hours in advance and give you a chance to call us on the Fenix Line, 855-FENIX-RADIO. Now, if you want to comment live, go ahead and head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Click into the live video there and comment. And then we've started using the stereo app. So if you want to chat with us live about the topic of the day, in the next segment, we'll open up the stereo app and go through and we'll get either people who want to talk or just random people that it's actually been kind of entertaining over the last couple of days to see.
It's been a lot of fun. I actually went back and watched some of our YouTube show yesterday, and I went to that specific segment just to listen to the calls again, and it was funny. I was still laughing even watching it last night as I waited for WandaVision to load. So,
well, and with that being said, today's topic is the hardest video game ever, and we're doing this as sort of a lead up to, as I mentioned, Fenix Media, our parent broadcasting network, is switching over from a general purpose talk radio, digital media, networking network over to the multiverse of pop culture entertainment. So most of the content that we'll have on there is all going to be video games, comic books, movies, TV, tabletop games, anything geeky or nerdy. This will be the resource for it, including some coming soon TV streaming viewing options, which I'm really excited about. But with that being said, our topic of the day is hardest video game ever. Tony, I know you've got plenty of thoughts on this, but if there's one that comes to mind, what would it be?
Well, you go back to when we were kids playing the original Nintendo. I mean, you think about how many times you'd get so far in a game and then you were done. You ran out of lives and continues, and it was back to the beginning. It was frustrating. But you went back and you would do it again because it was that quest. But for me, one game I've never beaten yet I love, and it spawned many sequels, and they're all just as hard as hell. And that's the Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghost and Goblins series. Frustrating. You have literally 2 hits before you're dead, unless you get the super armor, then you get 3 hits. But it's like, and yeah, sometimes you could start halfway through, but usually it was back to the beginning, and it was the same repetitive thing. But that game is so hard that I heard, like, if you actually beat it, the reward is you have to go through it again. And it's even harder. So that game was hard.
It was so tough. I go back now, Nintendo Switch just released their Capcom arcade free download thing, similar to what they've got for their Nintendo and SNES. Yeah. They've got the arcade version of Ghosts and Goblins on there, and it is so hard. I mean, enemies coming at you from every which way, shooting at you. And like you said, you've got 2 hits. If you die, you go all the way back to the beginning, and you've only got 3 lives. So if you get super far, then you die in that 3rd life. Well, too bad. You got to start all over again.
Yeah.
No
the good thing with the Nintendo Switch one is it has a rewind feature. So now it's like when you die, you can at least rewind, but you just didn't have that growing up. And that game is extremely tough. And I know we're going to get into the app. I don't have a lot of people that chimed in. So when we get to that portion, if you haven't said it or hasn't come up, I'll mention another one that was really tough that I loved. It was just hard.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, we've got plenty that we can pull off the top of our heads. But for me, another game that I loved, again, back on the original Nintendo, even got into a fist fight with my little brother over it, was Battletoads.
Oh, it's so tough. That bike level.
That's the one. Yep.
Jeez Louise.
It was like you were on this like jet ski, this hover jet ski, and there'd be these barriers that appear and come at you. Nearly impossible to pass. In fact, even beating the game, I only know maybe 1, maybe 2 people who have ever actually done it. It was just so difficult. Now, Tony, you've got the reboot, remaster, whatever it was that came out on Xbox.
Yeah.
Is that one at least a little bit easier?
It's a little easier, yeah, but it's still hard, but not near as hard. You know what I want to play is that they just released this last week, Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins. Like, it's a new one on the Switch with the new graphics and stuff. I want to play that because they said that one is just as hard as the original.
Oh, fun. And kids these days don't know that struggle. Everything has save points. Everything, you get unlimited lives. Not back when we were kids. But folks,
definitely not.
That is what we are looking for, the hardest video game ever, or at least to you. And go ahead and head over to our Facebook page now at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Click into the live video there and comment, or go ahead and head over to the stereo app at stereo.com/Fenix Media, and we'll chat with you in a little bit. Now, folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, it is all about you. So we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch
scrambling
with each other
and had
in no
idea
time.
how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky. Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are smack dab in the middle of the interactive portion of our show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and watchers, on our topic of the day. Now head over to facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with the K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R. Click into the live video and comment there. We're talking hardest video game ever. We gave our picks before the last break. Tony mentioned Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins. I was talking Battletoads, two very hard ones, but there are so many out there that were nearly impossible to beat. Now, in a little bit, we'll also be going over to the Stereo app where you guys have a chance to chat live. Just go to stereo.com/Fenix Media. From there, you can download the app and it'll take you directly to us. But we'll also get some random ones as well, which are always fun. Now, with that being said, Tony, I know you mentioned you didn't have a lot of people chiming in, but I assume you had at least one.
Yeah, I had three.
Okay.
So Stacy chimed in and she said Monster Hunter World, hands down. F those monsters. See, I never played Monster Hunter, so I don't know. So that was definitely, I was expecting an old vintage game, but I could imagine that's a frustrating game because some games are so tough. You're just like, I'm good.
Yeah, or so big and so long. I mean, you think like Zelda Breath of the Wild, which you and I would never be able to finish because it's such a big, long game.
That was my first Switch game, and I haven't really touched it I can't remember the last time I played that one. I haven't.
Who else do you have that chimed in?
Mike and Lacey. Lacey's is Disney's Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. That game was hard.
That was hard.
Yeah. And then Mike's was Toy Story. He was so excited as a kid to get Toy Story. He had it on the Sega Genesis, and he was so upset the fact that the game was so hard that he couldn't enjoy the game. And these are supposed to be kids' licensed games, and they are so hard, and I can 100% relate to that. Do you remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the Nintendo?
That was the one I was going to bring up. I almost rage quit that game. It was so
difficult. The one, like when you have to swim through that stupid ass sewer where you can't touch the electric plants, and you're a turtle and you should swim good, but you would touch it and you'd instantly lose your turtles, and it's not like you even lost life. It's like one touch and you were done.
Yeah.
And then, and I know we're going to go to the app here in a second, but you got to throw out the Ninja Gaiden series and Mega Man. Mega Man was flipping hard.
Now, the only advantage with Mega Man is after every time you beat a level, exactly, it gave you a little like passcode matrix that I had notebooks filled with passcode matrices for the Mega Man series, which let you at least pick up after you beat a level, but other than that, they were so difficult to beat.
So hard. Oh man, the passcodes. I remember I used to do that too. My cousins, they remind me to this day, while they love me and think I'm a nice guy now, apparently I was a little dickhead as a kid and I didn't share the passwords. Like for some reason I couldn't share what I had. That was my work. I didn't want to share. What a rude little dude, man.
I got to say, the Game Genie was the greatest invention ever for beating games like Ninja Gaiden or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because without it, there's no
beat. It's the only way I beat Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This is the only way.
Exactly. Well, folks, there is still time. So if you want to chime in on the hardest video game ever, head over to our Facebook page or go over to the Stereo app, which we're going to go ahead and get into now.
This is going to be fun.
Up here. And let's see. Looks like it's trying to connect. Please wait. Please wait. All right, let's move on because apparently that didn't want to work.
Bling, bling.
All right, it looks like we have Chris. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
What up, Chris?
All lives matter, man.
Right
All
on.
lives matter, baby.
Got a question for you. Did you grow up playing video games at all?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Now,
but like my videos were Atari and Sega, not PlayStation.
Gotcha. So the old school stuff. Yeah, we were talking about the original Nintendo, Sega Genesis. What would you say was the hardest video game ever?
The hardest video game was Super Mario.
Super Mario was tough. You know, it's getting used to the way that he slid around or fall into open holes. And of course, you only had, 3 lives unless you got more. Yeah, that made it tough.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Well, Chris, we're going to keep moving on, but appreciate you chiming in. And
thanks for playing my game.
Hopefully you'll follow us and chime in at a later date. All right, let's move on. We're searching for a new one. Looks like we got Tink. Nope.
Bye, Tink.
Moved on. All right. It saves. Is that it?
Saves. Hey, what's up, Phoenix? How you doing?
Good.
Hey.
So, it sounds like you're a video game player. Do you like video games?
Hey, yo, do you want to play some Warzone right now?
Well, I got a
Warzone,
question.
baby.
What would you say is the hardest video game ever?
Hardest video game? Tetris. Nah, I would say it would be Cold War, definitely. Cold War? Yeah, the zombies are hard.
Cold War. No, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll have to check it out. But, it's for every...
Call of Duty type.
Anytime you've got zombie games.
He's telling you Call of Duty.
Oh, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah. The zombies mode, right, guys? It's the zombie
I'm
mode.
going to drop you a follow, all right? I'm going to drop you a follow.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
We appreciate that.
All right. We're going to move on. Appreciate you chiming in.
I like that. He's like, Call of Duty, mate.
All right. Whoop. Funny, we bring people in, and then every once in a while they switch. Looks like we've got Gotus 1324, which is still connecting.
Hi, Gotas. Are you a god? Gotas.
Keep moving on. There we go. Black X6 Phantom. Boy, we as soon as we get them, some of them. There we go. Rosie X. How you doing? You there, Rosie X?
Hi, this is Rosie X. The hardest game I ever played in my life was Snoopy. It was on the Nintendo and used to collect pizzas. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Boy, this
It's a rough one.
All right, looks like we've got Bilko Miko. Is that correct?
Oh, hi, Boogamito? Booger?
Bilko Miko.
Booger Mio?
How you doing today? All right, we're gonna keep moving on.
Yeah. Well, I understand what he said. Boogerito?
Nero 77. Are you there? Apparently they are on mute.
It's De Niro. Hey.
All right. Keenan, are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
How you doing? So we're talking classic video games, even new video games. Did you grow up playing video games as a kid?
Yeah, the cartridge ones, the ones who came with the cartridge and then PS1.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
What would you say is the hardest video game ever?
I'm not sure, but Bomberman.
Bomberman. Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. That could get tough too. The further you went, that one got harder. So
yeah. So what's yours?
We were talking. For me, it was Battletoads, and then my partner here, Tony. It was Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, tough
Never
games.
heard of it, but cool.
Oh, they're worth going back and checking out. But Keenan, we appreciate you chiming in. Hopefully, you'll follow us and chime in on a future one.
Well, okay, thanks, guys.
Right on. Have a good day.
You too, guys.
All right, we got time for a couple more here.
Fine, man.
Let's see. We've got Peter Otengia 8. Is that correct?
Sorry?
Is it Peter?
Yes, of course, I'm Peter.
Hi, Peter. How you doing today?
Peter.
Yes, who's that one again?
So we're talking video games right now. Did you grow up playing video games at all?
Video games?
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's play.
Now, what would you say was the hardest video game growing up?
My network is very poor this way in Uganda. I'm in Uganda. Network is very poor.
Oh, that's cool. You're from Uganda, though. Uganda?
Uganda.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, welcome.
Very cool. Well,
where are you?
We're in the U.S. We're in the Western U.S. But what we're going to do is we're going to move on. But hopefully, if your connection, perks up a little bit, and you follow us a little bit later on, you can always chime in at a little later point in time. Much appreciated.
Bye, bud.
Okay.
All right, and let's do one more before we head to
Come
the
on,
break.
big money, be fun.
No whammies. Stop. Looks like we got Chloe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Hi, Chloe. How you doing today?
Are you streaming?
We are streaming, and we're talking video games. Did you play video games growing up?
Yeah, wait, what are you streaming on?
Oh, we're on everything. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch.
Right, what's your YouTube name, because we'll search you up.
We're Fenix Media. And real quick, because we do have to go to a break here soon, but just quick question. What was the hardest game you ever played growing up? Video game.
The Sims 4. It's well famous.
The Sims 4.
Oh my God, wait,
Sims was fun. Sims was a good one. But you know what, Chloe? Go ahead and follow us, and hopefully you can chime in, a little bit down the road.
Which one's you?
We're the one with the big Phoenix emblazoned logo. And so, if you follow us here, you can find out everything else. Just go into the profile from there. But you know what?
Like, which one? I can't find you. I can't find you on it.
Go into our stereo profile. And
They're having us on.
Yeah, from there you can get everything. So, but we appreciate you chiming in. And we do have to move on, unfortunately. And, we're going to head into our break. It's always fun getting people from around the world. But
it really is, man. This app is definitely wacky. There's some random stuff. Who you all, mate? I love it. I dig it. And it was amazing that not many people played video games. We should have just said, hey, you're on the air with Kristian Fenix radio show. What's the hardest video game you ever played?
Ooh, that's a good idea, Tom.
Maybe we'll do that instead of trying to read like their weird names like Bleezy You know, like if they follow, maybe we'll give them a shout out if they actually leave whatever we say. I don't know. We're all learning. This is day 3 of it. Got no F-bombs today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're getting it dialed in. But in any case, folks, that does it for the interactive portion of the show. When we come back, we've got a segment called The Willys. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. And we have this thing that we talk about a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our call-in topic of the day, which we give 24 hours in advance. We've been having fun with the stereo app here, doing some stereo roulette or press your luck. No whammies, stop. But in any case, if you do want to chime in, give us a call on the Fenix Line at 855-PHOENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. The call-in topic for Monday's show is songs you'd be okay never hearing again. Could be a good song, could be a song that you loved at one time, but it's so overplayed now, or you've heard it so many times that you'd be okay never, ever hearing it again. We'll be going through those on Monday, but you can always chime in on the Fenix Line with your pick over the weekend.
It's going to be a good one because I think I know what yours is going to be.
Oh, you certainly know what mine is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, let's move into our next segment, which I've titled The Willys. And of course, when you're talking about the Willys, talk about anything that, gives you the chills or something that's unexplained or just plain weird. Tony, you've given stories about ghosts in your house before. Anything that's happened to you maybe recently that's you would quantify as like a glitch in the matrix or even just gave you the willies?
Definitely when I was going through the divorce, that weird little thing that I kept seeing up in that walkway in our house that went from the master bedroom up to the upstairs bedrooms. And I'd always see that little glitchy thing and the dogs would always freak out about it. So that's always those. But obviously when you have like deja vu, sometimes it gives me the willies because I'm like, whoa, I've done this before. And then it plays out. Sometimes it'll play out just for like, I don't know, what seems like a minute. It's probably like 5-10 seconds. It plays out exactly how you're like, oh, but then it changes. And then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And you swear, you guarantee that you've either gone through this before or you've experienced it or, have seen it at some point. And it's unexplainable. Obviously nobody knows why that happens, but it certainly does happen. And, it being a glitch in the matrix may just be the reason. Right.
It's something, man. It definitely throws you off and your head definitely is like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay. That was different.
Well, we're going to run down a few stories that gave other people the willies. For instance, this one from Protector K. Draco says, my mom and I were on the highway driving home, and there was a semi-truck in the lane next to us. Suddenly, the semi swerved into our lane. Luckily, my mom was able to get out of the way before it hit us, but soon after I began feeling strangely. The entire right side of my face felt hot and sticky. I tasted blood and smelled the very pungent scent of gasoline. Then my head and right arm started to ache really badly, and I couldn't feel my legs. Just as soon as the pain started to worsen, it went away, replaced with cold, eerie chill. I told my mom about this, and she couldn't come up with an explanation. I think I was feeling the pain in another timeline where my mom wasn't able to avoid that semi. That's like a Final Destination type moment where you see what's going to happen before it happens, and then if it splits off that death comes back and claims you at a later point in time.
Yeah, oof. That's definitely one of those things. It's and thanks to Final Destination, I think of weird things like that, especially when I see like big trucks with things, especially not that you get it much in Colorado, but like the logs. I have been behind things that are set up like that, but they're like the metal poles for construction sites. I kind of think the similar thing. I'm like, oh God, all it takes is one strap to just go, and then it's chaos.
Yeah, I do the same thing. If I'm walking somewhere and there's something hanging above me, I take the long way around if that's the case. Just don't want any accidents. And luckily Final Destination was probably a warning sign for many of us that grew up with it.
Right.
Well, let's keep moving on. We're talking about things that gave people the willies. This from More Joe Than You Know says, so I worked for a joinery company and was delivering a load to a construction site about an hour away from work. And whenever I'm out and about, I just play Reddit compilation videos through my headphones. I was about 8 minutes into a video when in the middle of the town at a red light with a bad feeling of deja vu, the video started buffering. I thought it was odd since I had good reception, but was just going to wait it out. The light went green and the video played just long enough to say the word wait and started buffering again. I couldn't see anything at all. The road was clear, but I thought I'd listen, looked left, then right again, and there was a massive semi at speed that appeared out of nowhere and ran the red light. It would have taken out the driver's side of the cab, and I'd have been toast if I didn't wait. Definitely reminded me of my own mortality.
Isn't it crazy how like just this littlest things sometimes turns out to be like the biggest blessing in disguise? Like when I was stupid and I bought that dumb Daewoo, like had Adam our buddy had rode back up to Reno with me that day to go pick up that sweet sound system from Best Buy. Yeah, if he would have gone with me, which he's like, nah, dude, I'm just gonna, like, he went, I took him back down, and he goes, nah, I'm just gonna stay home. I go, come on, man, come with me. He goes, nah, because he was supposed to, and then he's just like, nah, I'm out. And I'm glad he was out, because then I got in that wreck where the lady ran the stoplight, wrapped me around a pole. But had he been in the car, he would have, I don't know, because that door was all the way up. It would have been bad. So
yeah, he would have been seriously injured, and you got T-boned in that little tin can of a Daewoo, and of course that should have been your sign not to go replace it. But oh well.
No, yeah. If I could go back in time, that would be one thing I think I could fix without it having minimal effects on the future.
Right.
I don't think there'd be too many butterflies affected in that one.
No. Let's keep moving on. We're talking about stories that gave people the willies. This one from Infinite Chemistry 88 says, my mom died 13 years ago. About 4 years ago, my dad was on vacation in Arizona with his girlfriend. He said he was up watching TV and the hotel phone rang. He answered it and said it was my mom's voice saying, I'm okay. He said, Cass, and he said the phone was crackly and said, tell Heather I'm okay too. He said his girlfriend was confused why the phone rang. He immediately called me, even though it was late, and he was crying. My dad doesn't believe in the supernatural, but still to this day can't explain the call.
It's creepy, man. The unexplained, man.
Yeah. And, Tony, your mom passed a number of years back. Has there ever been anything that's happened that made you think, hey, maybe she had something to do with this, or she's watching me, or she had some sort of, reach out from beyond?
Yeah. There's been a few things. Definitely when you have those dreams, I've lost a few people close to me in my life. And when they show up in dream form, it's surreal. Because it feels real. And I mean, it could be conversations about what's really going on today, and it's them telling you. I've had that. I haven't been in too many situations where I'm like, oh, thank God mom was looking out. I mean, I'm sure she's looking out every day, because there's so many, I don't know. I have no real example other than that. So
that's all right. And then finally, in stories that gave people the willies, this from Superdogs 5454. I dropped my phone in the kitchen and I looked to grab it off the floor, but it wasn't there. I heard it hit the floor, but I couldn't find it. It was in the middle of the room too. There was no way it could have gone more than 3 feet away from me. I checked under everything and went through the entire house looking for it, but it was gone. I had my mom call my phone and it said that my line was disconnected. I checked the Find My iPhone app and it said it couldn't find my phone because it couldn't find a signal. That was 4 years ago and we still haven't found it. It's like it hit the ground and immediately disappeared into another dimension.
That's crazy, especially if you just dropped it right there. You're like, where'd it go?
Yeah. Maybe there's dimensional gateways everywhere in the world, and that phone just happened to find one. But in any case, folks, that does it for this segment, which we've titled The Willies. When we come back, we're heading into the final segment, not only of the day, but the week. Yes, it is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. We are back, folks, to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is the final segment, not only of the show, but of the week. And, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
There you go.
While you're there,
I went and tried a YouTube Yes stream on that one.
All right, fair enough. Folks, while you are there, go ahead and subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Great Scott. Well, folks, as we like to do at the end of the show, drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Oh, little Phoenix.
Let's kick things off this day in 1616. Astronomical work De Revolutionibus, by
Good
Nicholas
job on that.
Copernicus, placed on the Catholic Forbidden Index. God forbid that science and religion mix, because, there's nothing beyond the stars. So,
yes, nothing for you, Copernicus.
Moving on, this day in 1750, the first American Shakespearean production, it's an altered version of Richard III in New York City. I wonder if they took out the British accents and, the these and thous and just put in I's and U's.
No! I say, mate. Hey, mate.
I don't think I'm Australian, right?
No. But it's funny, when we were scrolling down through this day, I thought in 1645 that said the Battle of Jakku. And I was like, Star Wars?
Star Wars did take place a long time ago.
Yes, it did. Galaxy far, far away.
maybe 1645. But let's move on. This day in 1770, the Boston Massacre incident on King Street. British soldiers kill 5 men in a crowd throwing snowballs, stones, and sticks at them. African-American Crispus Attucks is the first to die, later held up as an early black martyr. Massacre galvanizes the anti-British feelings. And of course, 1776 is when we gained our independence from Britain. The Revolutionary War stemmed from all of this. And we are the country we are today because of, well, incidents like that.
There you go. And I liked his cousin, Bootius Maximus. You know, he went hand in hand with Crispus Attucks. Yeah.
Attucks. Let's move on. This day in 1807, the first performance of Ludwig von Beethoven's Fourth Symphony in B. You know, that wasn't my favorite. Mine was his Fifth Symphony in D minor. But,
okay.
Yeah.
I just think that's good. This song will be Fourth Symphony in B.
Could you imagine if songs were named that way now? Like song number 4 in down tune D.
Yeah, did you hear that new Metallica song? It's called the 10th Symphony in a drop C.
Right.
What? Yeah, it was my favorite. The riff was heavy.
Oh, totally. Let's keep moving on. This day in 1836, Samuel Colt manufactures the first pistol, a 34 caliber Texas model.
Oh, okay. So that's not, but that wasn't the Colt 45 though. But I'm assuming that it's the same that Samuel Colt was where we got that from.
Yeah, this is the predecessor. I guess you could dub it the Colt 34.
There you go.
Moving on, this day in 1853, piano company Steinway & Sons, founded by Heinrich Steinway, later Henry Steinway in New York City. Steinway piano is probably the most famous piano out there. Anytime you pass by virtually any, it's either Yamaha, made in Japan, or Steinway, which is obviously expensive but beautiful.
I wonder how much a piano cost back then.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, obviously, for their times, it was probably really expensive, but I'm just curious by what today's, like if you said, oh, you can get a Steinway for like $150 or whatever, maybe back then that was a lot.
Well, and back then they were all handmade. They weren't mass produced like they are now. And some are still handmade, but I assume that only the rich could afford them.
Yeah, I would imagine. They are fancy looking.
Let's move on. This day in 1872, George Westinghouse Jr. patents triple air brakes for trains. I wonder if he's the same Westinghouse behind cheap electronics from Walmart.
Right?
Oh, speaking of inventors, this day in 1904, Nikola Tesla describes the process of the ball lightning formation in electrical world and engineer. It's amazing to think that how history could have been different if the government had gone with Tesla's designs as opposed to Edison's.
Right. I like the band Tesla is named after him, and they do sing a lot of stuff about Nikola Tesla and Edison. I think that one Tesla shirt I wore on this show, I don't know, months ago, that looked like a giant penis. I think it was that big ball of lightning formation thing.
That's what it was. Yeah. That was what a Tesla coil is. It's basically a long shaft with a ball at the end.
Yeah. Because that's I think what that big penis shirt looked like. Yeah.
Yeah. A great movie to watch if you want to see those sort of in action is The Prestige with Hugh Jackman and Bale. All right, let's move on.
Christian Bale was the other one in that one, right?
He was. And David Bowie played Nikola Tesla.
Oh.
Tony, get your impression ready. This day in 1960, Elvis Presley ends his 2-year hitch in the U.S. Army.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm checking out, little lady. I can't do this Army thing anymore. I got to go down to Vegas. I know I look all good and stuff with a little hat, but my impersonation's still pretty bad.
It's getting better. It's getting a little bit better.
Yeah, that almost sounded like Mr. Mackey at the end. Okay. starting to go that way a bit.
Let's move on. This day in 1963, the 20th Golden Globes, big winner, Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, no, that's the other Golden Globe. Lawrence of Arabia.
Wow.
It's an easy joke.
That was a good one, man. I'll give you that. That was good.
All right. This day in 1971, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin is first played live at the Ulster Hall in Belfast by Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, and John Paul Jones. Probably one of the most iconic rock songs of all time and still forbidden in guitar stores today.
Yep. No stairway. Bogus.
That'd be worth looking into why it's discouraged.
Yeah. Is it because it's long? They just don't want to hear it, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe they've heard it so many times. It'd be a perfect topic for our Monday call-in. So
there you go. Songs you just never want to hear again.
Yep.
That, spoiler alert, I doubt that's mine or yours. So
no, it is definitely not. Let's move on. This day in 1997, Tommy Lasorda, Nellie Fox, and Willie Wells are inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, we recently lost Tommy Lasorda, but great manager. He was a pitcher at one time as well.
Yeah, fantastic, well-deserved, an icon. Again, the Baseball Hall of Fame could be so much more, but it's kind of a joke.
Yeah. Let's keep moving on. This day in 2002, the American reality TV program The Osbournes, featuring the family of Ozzy Osbourne, premieres on MTV.
Sharon! What was it? Oh, Ozzy, you need to settle here.
Yeah, that's pretty much a good summary of the show.
Yeah.
And then finally, this day in 2015, Harrison Ford crash lands his 1942 Ryan Aeronautical ST-3K4 airplane in California on a golf course and only suffered minor injuries, surprisingly.
That's good, man. I couldn't imagine if we would have lost Han Solo that day. That would have been very, very heartbreaking.
It would have been a sad day. Well,
yeah,
speaking of days,
Kylo wouldn't have been able to kill him either then.
No. Speaking of days, let's run down some of today's holidays for today. There's plenty to go through that we're going to celebrate. For instance, today is Cinco de Marzo. I didn't realize that was actually a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either.
It is Dress in Blue Day, which I've inadvertently done. You as well, Tone. It is Employee Appreciation Day. Tony, I appreciate you even though you're not technically an employee.
Thank you.
It is Multiple Personality Day.
I
about that one.
dated a few of those.
It is National Absinthe Day. Well, that might be worth checking out. It is National Cheese Doodle Day. Just think Cheetos.
Okay.
It is National Potty Dance Day. Okay.
I gotta take a shower and it's coming up fast. I gotta dance in.
It is
Potty
National
dance.
It is National Day of Unplugging, which unfortunately can't do today.
No, you can unplug when you're pooping. You know,
it is National Poutine Day. God, I love poutine.
Poutine? Is it the same as Poontang?
It is National Speech and Debate Education Day. If you want to argue about it, we can do that later. It is National or World Day of Prayer, and it is Real Film Day, back when movies were actually
Poutine.
Folks, that does it for the week. We will be back Monday with a brand new show. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. And of course, join us back here on Monday when we talk about Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. Folks, we'll talk to you later.
Peace.